yeah. Welcome to episode 71. I'm your host, Adam Ross. To my virtual left, Tyler, what is going on?
Happy Sunday, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Hopefully everybody's ready in their favorite wrench spots, got a little time, and we are going to have a blast. We are going to kind of resume where we left off. I know Tyler's got some cool demos. I also have a few things that we're going to be rocking and rolling with, but definitely looking forward to hanging out with all of our CowTech peeps. Thank you again for joining in, and we actually have some exciting news too.
That's right. I mean, so we've been showing these things off, our upgrade kits for a couple episodes now, and we actually have the medium size, which is the 12x16 Carbon Series mat upgrade kits, which I've got on my desk right here, up on the site right now for sale. So check those out. They're really, really awesome. So we don't have the magnets in the 12x16 like we do in the large size. And then so all of these, other than the corners, are going to be interchangeable. So you can kind of use, pick them up, like I'm doing here, pick them up. Actually, what I was doing is I was, to kind of show off how durable these things are. I filled this full of Moo-Slick cleaner degreaser, just because it's degreaser, kind of a harsh chemical, and you can see how much dirt and stuff. Basically, what I was doing, I was trying to get all the old Loctite off of these screws and just put it in here just to see what it would do, and no problems at all with these prints. These things are super durable. I've been throwing just basically letting chemicals sit in them just to see what would happen, and nothing bad happens to them. So very durable. So you can really, get these things going, and they fit so nicely and tight, inside these pockets. So that way you're not moving things around and they're not flying out. It's going to stay put.
Yeah, it's like me with the bearings and stuff like that. Like these bearings were just trash. You guys seen them coming out of the kit and stuff like that. And then the other thing as well that I was a little nervous about was the pillow ball inserts, because obviously I'm running graphite in there, but so far they've been holding up, and I've just been using the hide wipes to keep mine cleaned up and stuff like that. But Joe, you'll love them. They're awesome, nice. And I like that I can interchange them and move them around for sure. So definitely super cool. Let us know. Snap some pictures too, because I love seeing everybody's pit spaces. And as you can see, the pit space for the month has been updated on the fan page. So you never know. It just takes one post, and you can see yours up there for sure.
Look how the upgrade kits just make these Carbon Series mats look just so much better. I mean, they really make everything pop. Just that white little bit is awesome, and it is nice, with that white kind of transition. Most everything we're doing is black screws, right? And it's sometimes it gets hard, seeing the screws and whatnot. If you have like black washers or shims or whatever, it's darn near impossible. So having that white background is super helpful.
Yeah, and the thing is, they're pretty durable, and I don't mind the magnetics. I wasn't 100% sure how I would feel about the magnetics, but when I throw in a whole bunch of screws needed for like my diffs or whatever, I like having the magnetics now, where like at first I didn't notice, because I always I just got to change up my where my tools go now, because normally I always had my trusty knife and stuff like that. So now I just got to switch it up a little bit, but I will get the hang of it. I definitely like the magnetics, and I do like that I can pull them out, because you guys seen on show 70, I pulled apart this truggy here, and we are going to go through, and I'm going to show you how to clean the Lexan body properly, but you can see where all the screws went. And you guys know one of my favorite products, and I think it's very underrated, is these bad boys right here. I love them.
It is a good one.
Especially the 4x4s and stuff like that. It just keeps me organized. And then you'll see I'll even stack on top of them. And you can see behind me, I actually have where all the kits stay. I actually have one for each kit, basically. And then that way, if Nathan's working on one, if Michaela's working on one, they can keep their stuff separate. or if dad loses their diff, you never know. Like
Dad loses it, forgets to take it out of the vehicle.
they do not take it out of the vehicle. We looked everywhere for that diff, and it was still in the car. It was great. But
That's awesome.
lots of people tuning in now. So one of the cool things for the news as well is the new bomber jackets and stuff like that. Let me just
windbreaker.
pull that up.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, so as we kind of, I think CowRC, it's been the last two, I'll call it 2 winter seasons that CowRC has brought in, new apparel. And so this year we've got 2 different new jackets. We've got bomber jacket, which we've had the bomber jackets on there before, but now we have all of our themes associated. So you get all 5 themes on a bomber jacket. And then we also have windbreakers with all 5 themes. So you're going to see, Adam and I are going to be rocking one of each of those guys and picking out our favorite theme. I'm not quite sure what theme I'm going to go with. I'm almost thinking green streak, but I know that's your jam, Adam. So I may try to go something different.
I do like the green streak. It's been amazing. And I forgot to jump you for your shirt when we were at the thing together, but they definitely look. So this is the themed windbreaker right here. Yeah. I'm just going to pull it up on the screen so everybody can see. And these are 100% graphic. The zipper on the front is odd. Like, it is a nice piece. And to have this much graphic on one item, you're going to be showing off big time. I also like the hood. I'm not sure if the hood is removable or not, but you can tell the graphics definitely flow with the hood as well. So definitely one of those things. Now, those go from extra small all the way up to 3XL. So definitely super cool to have those on board for sure. And then the other one is the bomber jacket, which I will bring up right here. So this one will do in the for the Reaper, for all those Reaper fans. I know it's one of the better selling themes for sure. But the graphics just look great. And let me do the other view here.
Yeah, I like how the zipper kind of splits it in half. That's pretty sick.
It looks nice. And the CowRC logo on the back, they're definitely going to know you're repping the move for sure. But definitely one of those themes that looks awesome. And I'm excited. And once again, these ones are extra small to 3X as well. But the graphics alone, just, man, it crushes it.
Johnny was asking about what's the difference between the bomber jacket and the windbreaker. So I would say like the fit of it is different. So I can't really say, I don't have a windbreaker, but I have a bomber jacket. And so like the bomber jacket's got like fitted sleeves and a fitted waist. And so it's more, I'll call it more like snugger fit. And the windbreaker is more like straight. So it doesn't have like the tighter cuffs on the hand, on the wrist, or the bottom. So it's kind of more like a straight fit rather than it be like a fitted fit, if that makes sense. And then like I couldn't tell you what like the actual like finish is of it. But that's kind of like the difference. And I would say like a windbreaker traditionally doesn't have like insulation in it. It's like literally like kind of like a rain jacket / kind of a light coat, whereas like a bomber jacket, the one I have has some insulation in it.
So yeah, Johnny, I actually use my bomber jacket in the winter. Normally what I do is I'll just throw like a hoodie on, hopefully a CowTech hoodie soon, but I'll throw a hoodie on first and I'll put my bomber jacket on, and you'll see that's what I wear at most of the events that I go to for the winter series, is me and my bomber jacket. I love the bomber jacket, not going to lie. It was a great addition to it last year, and I'm excited to see that they actually have all the themes now. So if you have any Patriot, Reaper, Dragon, you got, of course, the green streak, and of course, And the hot rod. Yeah, actually, the hot rod is not bad, too. That one's kind of been, I know it's been catching your eye a little bit. And the theme that you have is pretty good.
Well, I want the Reaper one. I almost wonder if I'd get mistaken to be in a biker gang. That one looks pretty tough.
It does.
It looks biker theme-ish.
Yeah, it definitely is only for a select few people, not us clean cut folks.
I have to shave my head in order
there
to
you
rock
go.
that one.
There you go. And other exciting news, they have a new distributor in the UK for CowRC products.
That's right.
How cool is that?
Yes, it's modelsport.uk. So if you check out, their website, so if there is anybody watching from overseas, we have that, or I should say we have that, but they are carrying many of the CowRC products. So it's really the awesome part is CowRC has been really hit up a lot, with people overseas and asking how do I get a hold of your products? And, we'll ship overseas, but the shipping is just astronomical. So really it's just not realistic for United States to ship chemical, type things overseas. So awesome, is Modelsport is picked up a ton of CowRC products and selling them over in the UK. So if you are from the UK or anywhere near there that ships out of there, hit them up. They've got an awesome website, and it's modelsport.uk. So they got a really nice website. So check it out if you're over there.
Definitely cool that CowRC is expanding over the pond and all that, becoming like truly a household name in RC cleaning and maintenance for sure.
Yeah, no, it shows the reach. It's in CowRC and Modelsport really aren't affiliated. It's just they're selling their product, or we're selling sold them the product, and they're selling the product to easy access, and that's really where it's all about. I mean, CowRC has been selling product to A-Main carries a lot of our products, and different other hobby shops, like White Rose Hobbies out in York, PA. It carries the CowRC product. So it's just nice to be able to spread it out, because not everybody wants to shop online. And if you're in a pinch and you need some clean products or greases and you need them now, you know where to get your hands on them versus waiting for shipping.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And it's so cool to see other hobby shops coming on board, because let's face it, when you're in a pinch, if you're at the track and stuff like that, like there's so many useful chemicals for different applications. And there'll be times when I'm actually at an event and I'll help and let them use my chemicals. But there'll be times they'll be like, okay, well, can I just get the electronics cleaner here? Because I see that you're gluing tires and it's working. Can I just get it here? What about the hide wipes? What about this, that? Now that you have an option to actually get it on board is awesome. So it is pretty cool. So Modelsport is going through A-Main.
A-Main sounds like, yeah. It looks like Excel RC carries. Oh, I've not heard of them.
I can't wait. Yeah, hey, I'm going there this winter. They're in Michigan. So I'm getting ready. Yeah, I'm getting ready to do like the fuzz ball. They have an awesome group of guys that travel. I know the fuzz brawl is actually in a church. They set it up in a church for 2 days.
Wow.
Is it 2? I'm pretty sure it's a 2-day event, but it's so cool. You get to go to a church. So you get to race inside a church. And then they basically pull it out, so I guess people can pray again on Sunday. But super cool vibe, awesome atmosphere. And I know that Mike and Corey from the team met me there last year, so I'm looking forward to seeing that again. Definitely going to be a lot of fun. Also,
I wanted to check out this comment that Martin threw up here earlier in the show, and he was asking about the re-release of the stealth magnetic mats. I just want to make sure I kind of just made sure I commented on it. Martin, no, we are not planning on any re-releases, and really the reason that is if you remember, like the I'll call it the coating that was on top, the protective gloss coating that was on top a lot of the mats. Well, there was an issue after, that kind of got set out for a while, that the manufacturer, it wasn't working the way that we wanted it to. And that was the only way that those Stealth Series mats could really function. And the real reason is because matte black doesn't work well with screws and scuffs and scratches. It basically just kind of shows like a white scratch, and it gets damaged really quickly. We did actually have those. We didn't call them a Stealth Series. I don't remember what we called them. If you remember, Adam,
Yeah, actually,
way
give me one sec, dude.
Oh, you have one?
I'm
Okay.
doing on road. I love mine, man.
Oh man, that's like historic. So yeah, so originally like, and it was really like a special order when Cowarcy brought those out, and they were matte black, but we didn't sell them and mass produce them because they were very like damage prone. So that's the one with the protective gloss coating, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it has been beat on, not like my carbon series, but when I do on road, we use a lot of tire dope and stuff like that, right? Okay. So I was super nervous about getting chemicals on here, but with the protectant, it actually took it way better than the other matte. And having the black, you couldn't see all the tire sauce from the wheels actually transferring to the black matte. Where on the white mats, oh man, it stands out. And sometimes if you scuff it real good on the white mats, if you don't get to it right away, you might leave that mark permanent. But definitely love my Stealth Series mats. These things have been a godsend. Yeah, especially for the on-road racers. But now that we have the Carbon Series, I feel that the Carbon Series will definitely do the trick that all the black ones have. So I'm running the medium size for on-road right now with the Carbon Series, just because I like the portability. The Stealth mat, even still, like, it is a little bit more durable than the white. You still had to transfer it completely flat. You still had to treat it differently and take care of it. Whereas the Carbon Series, everybody that's had them, I'm sure, is like thrown it in, rolled it up. You know what I mean? It's just way more versatile when bringing it out to an event. I don't mind the Carbon Series at all. And with the black cover, it doesn't transfer any of the chemicals. And let's face it, the Carbon Series, how many times have you seen me and Tyler straight up beat on our Carbon Series? And this is still my original Carbon Series matte. So I've actually been around the block with this thing, the States, the Michigan, all those fancy events, and this thing is still going on strong. What I do as a trick, and I think Tyler does it as well, is the Moo-Slick. You just the silicone Moo-Slick, you just spray that on there, and that carbon fiber pops like it's brand spanking new.
Well, I just did that when we were waiting before the show. I had some dirt, kind of piled up here in the corner of this one, and I just kind of used some Moo-Slick and sprayed the silicone spray, and sprayed on there and wiped it off, and there's no dirt anymore. So these things are tough as can be. So yeah, Martin, great question. Appreciate you thinking. I always like to go back to old products and kind of talk to them, because it's neat to kind of see the history of it. But yeah, to Adam's point, that's kind of why they went away, is there was a kind of a manufacturing defect and just made it so we couldn't produce those in the quality that we wanted to. And then here comes along the Carbon Series mats, which really kind of took care of that and still brought together a kind of a black backed product.
Yeah, and Bobby brings up a good point. Yeah, Belleville definitely is a different venue. Those guys are the ones that set up, I think, the Fuzz Brawl and a couple other events that I'm going to try to attend. And Excel has a brand new indoor facility, so I definitely can't wait to check out both of them and show off all my CowRC products and some of the skills that I'm lacking lately, because, man, I've just been having a rough go. But definitely looking forward to just hanging out, man. That's the best part for sure.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, you want to get into some maintenance here?
I am ready. So let me just pull up a different couple camera angles here. So I'm just gonna switch it over real quick.
Yeah. Now we hope you guys enjoyed the 4-camera angle that we were showing up last week. Yeah, we had a ton of fun with you guys last week. We hope you guys did too. It was really the first time, I think, in 70. So we had 70 episodes was our last one. And that was the first time we really went and wrenched with you guys live. So it was a lot of fun, and we wanted to finish that up today and just kind of make sure we go through everything we were talking about and wrap it up. And hopefully we'll do another one of these series in the near future.
All right, I think I got us all situated now. So what I wanted to do was just kind of show it off here on the better camera, so you can see that it's actually got all the dirt, grime, and race scubba still on here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go through and show you how efficient these hide wipes are. And just be careful the hide wipes actually have both sides that are textured. You got the orange side, which is the rough side, and then you got the white side that is the smooth side. I always use the smooth side on all of my Lexan bodies, and you can see already how quickly this thing's shining up. You can get it nice and dull here and then just shine it up, and it just takes all the scratch marks, scuffs up, and all the little debris that you can transfer from a race day, and it cleans it up real quick. And the thing that I like about this is while you're cleaning, it actually smells really good. Like if there was like a way to send the smell through the computer already, you guys might know. Same with the tire wash. And this is a byproduct of the tire wash. It is the same chemical as the tire wash. So it is really good to use. And I'm just going to clean the inside of the windows real quick. And then now you can see how clean that actually is compared, and it pops now.
It doesn't take much effort at all. I mean, hide wipes are awesome. I mean, they're great for your hands, great for the mats. You just, I mean, like Adam said, there's a textured side and a smooth side. Just kind of have to be careful, you know, what side you're using. I mean, it's not going to strip paint off or anything like that, but you don't want to do anything inadvertently. So just kind of watch what you're doing with that stuff. But yeah, they're fantastic. They pretty much every surface you can use it on.
Yep. So that was the first little demo that we wanted to get out of the way and just basically show off the hide wipes. I used to use just the power wash with the parts and chassis wash and a microfiber, but now that we have the hide wipes, man, it's truly no beating it. There's so many different uses for this as well. So the second thing that we wanted to get to was obviously this right here. This is one of my favorite secret weapons, and it's the ultra thin oil with PTFE, and it is the yellow can. I call it, me and the kids, just so we know the difference between the yellow and the orange. But the yellow is what I've been using as a secret weapon for all of my stock racing applications. And what I mean by that is when you treat your bearings, even if they're stock or if they are the aftermarket flavor, this definitely takes it to the next level. And I showed the before and after on my Slash mud bosses, and people were amazed. Now, I wish you could see it in person just so you could feel the difference. But I think the demo that we had set up at the Great Lakes Gauntlet definitely impressed a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it was amazing. I mean, I was surprised at how muddy people's vehicles got, and I think they were even more surprised that we were able to fix them for them. So it was they were testing us for sure. There were some kids that were brutal.
Definitely some challenging things. So I like to use the thicker hose here or insert.
Yeah, tubes.
The tubes. Yeah, and you can get either one. They come in the pack, so very easy to get and very easy to apply. Now, one of the tricks that I was taught was to use your thumb instead of your index finger to try and control the amount going in. And it's supposed to be, there you go. It's supposed to be a lot easier doing it that way. And I'm going to try and get this zoomed in a little bit better so you guys can see exactly what I am talking about here. So I'm trying to do it on both cameras just so you guys can see. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a little square here.
Yeah, and the foaming, I mean, and really the
I got to hold it up, though. That's the thing. So I'm going to slide them down here. I'm going to move this over a bit because I'm trying to do it on both cameras. Hopefully we can see this here.
Yeah, what Adam's trying to show you is really the foaming action. That's what's getting the oil into
penetration.
That's what's getting into, it's getting through the shield. Like, it's like I didn't pull the shields off of mine. I don't find like that it's necessary. I know some people will, but for me, I haven't found that it's something you need to have done. So, but what's important in order to do that is you do want to let it, apply it correctly. So like I've done some different ways where I've put them in a jar, and put the oil and just kind of set it in the jar and let them soak. It's not as great because again, you're losing that aerosol foaming action. So you're not getting the penetration that really it's designed to do. It's not like it's bad or it's not going to work, but it's not really working to its full potential. So, what Adam's trying to show you is just that. And that's why the different tubes and kind of the technique of holding these pressure sensitive cans, it makes a difference because, if you just go full speed, and just, hammer it down, well, for one, the bearings are going to go blowing off the table. You're going to use a ton of product. You're going to get splatter all over everything. It's really there's no benefit to using too much. So really it's knowing how to do it and just take your time with it. That's what matters.
Yeah. So Michael's been using it on the RPM bearing blaster in conjunction with the Moo-Slick with PTFE. I am actually going to get a bearing blaster because I've heard nothing but good things about that. And I was told that you can use the Moo Clean electronics cleaner. So I want to try that and then use it with the foaming action. That is definitely where it's at for sure. Because then you actually have a 3D printed tool that can help you do it in an easier way. That's why I wanted everybody just to kind of see, because you can already see now it is definitely absorbing in. So all the foaming action, it's penetrated all the way through. And the longer you let it do its magic, the better penetration you will get.
Yeah, and you want to let it cure, so you want to let it cure. And that's what that PTFE is all about, is it's a Teflon, right? So it's a Teflon coating that's going to get left behind and stay and keep those bearings really lubricated even after the oil gets worn away or dissipates. And this is after you're using it. So yeah, like Adam said, you don't necessarily want to throw these in, and then throw them in your vehicle and then go run them. You want to let this cure. And, usually I recommend a 24-hour. So I'll do it, during the day, and then the next day, come back and either use the vehicle, put it away, whatever. But, curing is really one of the other secrets.
John, I'm not sure, but you'll see I still have the two-tone one on my bench today for you guys for the demo, but I believe that it is discontinued.
Yep,
I don't even know if he has any. I don't know if he even has any left.
Yeah, John, it did get discontinued, and the reason is economics, right? And so originally, that two-tone solder mat was the first solder mat that we came out with. Then we came out with the large one and the tiny one. And so when we came out with the large one, doing two-tone it just made the mat just unaffordable, right? And so we wanted to keep all of those mats looking the same. We didn't want to have one that's two-tone and two others that were just kind of monotone. So that was the reason for the discontinue of them.
Yeah, definitely is going to be one of those nostalgic Cow RC memorabilia for sure. Kind of like the Spell Series mat that I just showed off in the background there.
That's right.
But super cool. Definitely one of those things that you want to have in your arsenal. I've switched over now to the other style. I still have it in the camper, so I did not grab the new style, but I do have the original on the demo for tonight, for you guys tonight. But the next thing was I wanted to show off kind of how I do the Udder Butter. I'm actually going to show off two different ways that you can do it. And the first way is going to be with this right here. This is the syringe. And usually when I use the syringe is when I'm doing a diff change in the race vehicles and I'm at the track and I'm in a rush. And I just throw this out.
Yeah.
And it's super easy to do. So kind of what I do is I'll show you real quick. I just take and I just put a little dab on each of the teeth. I'm hoping here, I'll hold it up a little bit better here. And basically I'm just going to go around and just a little dab here and you can see it's putting a lot of product on there. Whereas with the the tub, you don't have to use as much product. And the nice thing is with the tub, any of the excess you can actually put back in the tub. So both applications are really good, but I feel that you get more bang for your buck and less waste with the other one. So now you can see I only have it on the teeth. And that's all you really need, is just to make sure you have the teeth protected and you are good to go. So now for the other way that you can do it is going to be with this tub right here. So some people like to use tools. Some people like to do whatever. I just throw my finger in there, grab a little bit, and then I feel that I could just control as much as I want to put on and exactly where it's going. So for me, it's not too bad just using your finger. And the nice thing about this is if you do have too much on the teeth, you know you can just throw it right back in the tub and it's good to go.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm a big fan of the syringe, as well. I think it's, to Adam's point, you keep it off your fingers. I think you can apply it, pretty consistently.
Precisely.
Yeah, you're getting it right where it needs to be. And, if you see like kind of how I did mine is, I did the big gear, the big spur gear. And then I already had the pinion gear already in here. So I didn't even put grease directly on the pinion gear in the back of the diff. So I already had it, sitting in here. And then used it to really spread out the grease by just turning the gears and making sure things are going smooth. It also gives you, because you can only see half the gear after it's in the diff cover. So it allows me to just feel it. Is it skipping? Is it grinding? Again, shims, do you feel like the shims are in there? Are they where they need to be? So it really kind of gives you a nice feel for, the product. Is it being applied, and is there any, any hiccups going on in there? So extremely, you don't want to just like, people talk about like packing diffs. Well, that's when you're building a car, not a toy model. So you don't need a lot. So like even what I put on here is probably a little heavy. But you're not gonna have resistance. So different vehicles are going to, I'll say, require different amounts of grease, right? So being a crawler, having more grease isn't really going to affect the performance. You're essentially maybe using more than you need to, but when you're on, you're doing off-road racing, on-road racing, maybe even micros, a little bit goes a long way, because you don't want that resistance. You don't want your motor binding up. You don't want your motor working harder than it needs to. And having the right grease matters. You don't want to use an automotive grease that's very, very thick, because that's not going to go. I know people talk about, red and tacky and stuff like that, and it just isn't applicable to what we're doing with model vehicles, right? You want to have something that's made for RC, and that's what CowRC's products are based on, is all RC stuff. It doesn't cross over to the automotive side. It's only formulated for RC, so you're using the things that are proven for this product.
Yeah, so John has an awesome question. Between the two colors of Udder Butter, believe it or not, John, there's been a couple different versions of Udder Butter. There was the original red, there was green, there was now the new, what we call this, yellow? No, what color is this one? I don't even know. But each version was out of, I wouldn't say a necessity, but just constant improvement and innovation. Sometimes laws change for chemicals and chemical distribution, but ultimately it is the best that you can possibly have in your gears for protection. Now, I know there's a lot of on-road oval guys. We've been testing packing the NASCARs with 100% Udder Butter, and I gotta say, it is the secret sauce. I wish I would have listened to a few other racers earlier. But John, definitely, if you have any of the Udder Butter, you will not be disappointed. But obviously, the latest and greatest Udder Butter is probably the best that we have tested.
It is.
But yeah, so the original formation was blue. The second was red. the third green, and the fourth is probably the final butter color. He didn't even say what the color was, though.
I didn't know there was a blue.
Yeah, so
Crazy.
I didn't see the blue, but definitely know it works.
I've never seen that. That's crazy.
No, so I was lucky enough to get the red and the green, but this new taupe color, I guess it would be, is the new hotness. So
that's right.
I'm gonna just zoom into this real quick and just show it off, just so you guys can see. So here you can kind of see the difference between the two applications, and it's pretty much the same result. And I even feel that I have quite a bit of Udder Butter on there, but you can see definitely going to coat and protect those gears when you throw them into the diff housing.
Yeah, I'm finishing up doing my portal gears right now. Getting those set up before I put the cover on. Kind of get those things set up. And kind of going back to one thing I forgot to mention when I was doing the ultralight or ultra thin oil with PTFE is you would be surprised on how fast your bearings are going to get rusted when they get wet and you put them away. When on our last episode, I had, we left the episode, I put the bearings in the ultrasonic cleaner with Moo-Clean part and chassis wash, right? Let them go in there, cleaned them up. And well, I left them in there for, overnight. I took them out the next day, set them on the carbon series mat, let them dry. And it was probably, 2 days, maybe a day. And the bearings were rusted, right? They were seized up. And that was because I took all of the grease out of them, right? I took all the oil, took all the grease by taking the cleaner and degreaser, took those out of it, took all the grease out of that with there, washed them, and then let them air dry. And where I'm going with this is it's not that the chemicals are making them dry. It's the fact that you're removing the grease and oil, and then you're, introducing water to it, and then you let it sit. So where I'm saying is that when you do that, to your vehicle, let's pretend you take it out and just go through the creek. You wash it outside with a hose, and then you let it sit. Well, what you're doing is all those bearings are going to be seized up. Now, you're not going to notice it right away when you go out and take that vehicle out the next time. But what it's doing is it's just creating friction. You're not getting that lubrication that your bearings need. They're not rolling freely, and they're really just all corroded. So it's not good. So anyways, putting that ultra thin oil on it with PTFE revitalize it, right? So even if you do get bearings that are getting seized up and rusted, the oil is going to rejuvenate those. So just keep that in mind. It's something I think overlooked. Even, I overlooked it just because I wasn't really paying attention to it. I was basically kind of just setting up for this episode. And then I'm like, wow, my bearings are rusted up. So, but these are the same bearings I have right here, and they work perfectly fine now after I put the oil back in.
Yeah, you definitely want to make sure you keep them lubricated. Another thing with bad bearings is it creates extra heat and stress on your electronics as well. So keep that in mind, because if you're thinking you're having a problem with something else, it might be something simple as just rejuvenating your bearings and giving them that little bit of extra life that they're looking for. And obviously, the ultra thin oil with PTFE will do the trick and buy you some time. I use it on all my stock ones, and I've even experimented on the aftermarket bearings as well. And depending upon what the bearings come pre-packed with, some of them have exotic, I'm going to say, lubrication inside it. And if you're spending a ton of money on the carbon fiber bearings to try and extract every single ounce of performance out of it, just be careful when you do try the ultra thin oil. I haven't had any issues yet, but there might be some that have exotic oils that it might not give you that performance increase that you're looking for. Whereas I can definitely vouch on 100% that on the stock bearings, it will give you every performance increase that you could potentially get out of a lubrication. It's amazing for stock applications. And in fact, I've even stopped getting the expensive aftermarket ones and have just been doing exactly what I showed you on video here. And it has been basically about the same. I'm not a pro racer. I usually try and aim it wherever I go. And I feel that the difference in the $100 bearings compared to the stock bearings with just a little bit of elbow grease has been pretty darn close. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's a game changer. I used to do the ceramic bearings myself, and I think the ultra thin oil, it really takes a stock set of bearings and really rejuvenates them. It adds a lot better oil into them. It makes it very much comparable to a ceramic bearing performance. So I think next, are we going to the ultralight grease coating?
Yeah, we can definitely do the ultralight grease for sure.
So I can kind of show you guys what I'm doing with mine here. And let me put a back here since it's kind of hard to see. I'm going to go ahead and use my magnetics here real quick and throw some grease on there. That off. There we go. So what I'm doing here is using Moo-Slick ultralight grease coating. So what I'm going to do is with my jive shaft and my CV joint. So got a CV joint here for a crawler, and I'm going to, again, take the tube and just lightly coat it, right? So I'm going to coat this CV joint here, and of course we're going to let it cure. And I'm also going to put some on the shaft itself just to coat it. It's not really, I would say, not necessary. Mostly for this joint, it is necessary. And so, another substitute for this would also be, in some applications, would be the ultrafine graphite coating. That is also an option that you can use for these CV joints as well. I like the grease for a crawler application, but the ultrafine graphite also will do the trick for a good lubrication coating on that as well. So keep that in mind. Again, you want to have this, you want to let this cure for about a day. And again, kind of you can assemble it. So it's not going to hurt, getting these things assembled and then putting them all together, but let them sit there for at least, a day, let it cure, let it get in all the nooks and crannies. And again, using the tube helps to kind of just concentrate the flow. And then using, a technique that Adam's talking about, with your thumb. I've been using with the index finger, but, kind of getting used to the thumb. It's just different for me, but, it helps for control as well. But again, you don't want to use a whole lot. Just a little bit goes a long way. Let it cure, and then, you can assemble it as it's curing.
Yeah, so he said if he had the skill and patience to remove all of the seals from the bearings, he would pack them all with Udder Butter, especially when running cars in wet environments. Really helps out with preventing rust. Yeah, see, there's another application right there for the Udder Butter. But we've actually tested the grease, the orange can that he's using right now in the bearings, and it's been fantastic as well. So I've never tried the Udder Butter, but I know that Mr. Ghost has some pretty extreme conditions in his area, whereas I'm more track oriented. So I'm always looking for performance. So I'm going to show you guys what I did. If Tyler, you're ready?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm going to start reassembling these things, and you go do your stuff.
All right, so I did go with the Moo-Slick graphite. As you guys know, I'm looking for every bit of performance that I possibly can. So these are my out drives here. And as you can see, I'm basically putting graphite on all the moving parts. And then I actually have graphite sprayed on the ends. So I make sure that all of my moving components and anything that touches metal on metal actually has the graphite on it. Now, hopefully you can see here on my center drive shafts, I actually have it on all the pins, front and rear, on both the front and rear of the pins as well. And then the other thing that I've been doing is I've actually been putting graphite on my hinge pins. And this just helps out with getting them a little bit of dry lubrication and it doesn't allow anything to stick or build up with them. So if you want the dry lubrication, it's perfect. Now, especially on the pillow balls, this is where I have found the best bang for the buck. Having it sprayed onto the pillow balls just gives it that little bit of dry coating that you're looking for, but it doesn't allow anything to stick to it. So this just makes it so much easier, especially on the pillow ball cars, for things like your steering servo, things like your electronics, because it just frees up and unbinds all of your suspension. So definitely one of those things that takes it to the next level. So I know Tyler was using obviously he was using the grease.
Yeah, ultra light grease. Yep.
Yep. And I decided to go with performance in mind, and I used all the graphite. So for me, the graphite, it has been king right now, and I just been loving it. It's been one of those things that I've been so happy with for the performance. But you have to make sure that after every race weekend, you reapply it. Now, if you're at a bigger event, I've even done it the night before, after a teardown, because if you're spending all the money to go to a huge event, you want to make sure that you're putting your preparedness in the night before. So I'll go through and I'll do like a pretty much 95% teardown, going through everything, making sure I'm ready for the morning. Well, as I'm going through and rebuilding everything, I'll just have it all set up and ready to go. I'll put the coating on, let it cure, and then when I reassemble, it's good to go. So definitely one of those cool things. Yeah, Vinny, you're going to have to let me know how it goes. I've seen the pictures. It looked awesome. It looked like you did a really good job. So definitely going to be a huge improvement for you being a pillow ball guy.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, and that's the great thing is, like, you know, and even going back to like coating, you know, gears with grease. You know, Adam and I both put on Udder Butter, right, for our gears. But like some of the smaller stuff, you could use the ultralight grease for like a 24th scale. I mean, you know, people have been experimenting with putting, you know, one of our team drivers is big into drag racing, was experimenting with the ultralight grease with the ultra thin oil to kind of make it a very, very thin grease. Of course, you know, that's something you're going to want to rebuild probably maybe multiple times a night. But for him, he wanted the edge to get the least amount of resistance possible, but still have the right lubrication for his gears, so he could make those short, you know, whatever, 2-second passes. So, you know, and I've even put in ultralight grease when we were testing it into crawler transmissions. Now, I wouldn't recommend that for a long period of time, but I ran it. It did well. I don't know that it was better than Udder Butter. It didn't really give me any performance, but I would say that as far as a long lasting, the Udder Butter would have been a better choice. But, you know, to each their own. But different, like we're talking about, different chemicals can be used in different applications.
Absolutely. And speaking of applications and stuff, I pulled out the electronics because I just like to resolder everything and go through it. And basically what I did over here, and I'll just show you, was I basically pulled it all off using the solder mat. And it was funny that he brought up the two-tone one, because I have the two-tone one here, and then I have the new style right here. But definitely went through, unsoldered everything, got it all pulled apart. I pulled apart the ESC case, and you can see that you can actually see the screws in the new inserts on the medium size mat as well. But what I wanted to show you right on camera is just nuts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, even though I keep my stuff relatively clean, look at how dirty and built up the bottom of that ESC is. Now, let me see if I can zoom in here. Look at how dirty that ESC is. Now, that is trash. So what I'm going to do is, so don't lose the buttons, I'm going to actually pop it out. There's one button, and there's two buttons. So definitely set those buttons aside. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I go ahead and clean this off. One of my favorite things is you get these brush kits, and obviously I have the green streak, but it's better than using your wife's or kid's toothbrush from the camper. So definitely a nice thing to pick up. And you can kind of see here how dirty it is. So what I do is I usually start from the top, and I just hit it right on top, and then I'll hit the bottom as well. And then I just use this brush, give it a little love, and you will see it start to evaporate right on my actual pit, like the Carbon Series mat, and it does an amazing job. You can see the dirt kind of just falling off it and going down onto the mat. Like, look at that dirt just coming right off. This product is one of my favorite products. There's so many uses and applications for it. I use it for gluing my tires. I use it for cleaning electronics. I use it for just about anything you can think of race related. It's one of those things that you definitely want to have on hand. So already, look at how clean that is. And then I'm going to flip that over. And look at how the circuit board is shining now. And it literally took me 2 seconds to clean that off. Just a little spray, a little bit of rubbing with my CowRC brushes, and it was perfectly fine. And the best thing is, once you go to reinstall, this is where you can check for any loose electronic parts or any damage or anything like that, because you want to make sure that it's ready for the next season. So this had a full season of beating on it, and now I know once it's all clean and ready to rock, I'll be good for another season.
No, that makes sense.
So,
I mean, no, go ahead.
It says try the graphite on those top hats instead of the grease. The wetness should hold them in while you're putting one side together.
Awesome. I like that.
Pretty good
Jeremy.
tip.
Thank you.
Yeah, pretty good tip.
And I'm glad that you saw that. So I was trying to show, that was on my list of stuff to show today. So let me kind of explain what Jeremy is talking about. So oh, there we go. So these are the hats that go in the steering knuckles on a typical crawler, right? And these things are the biggest pain in the butt to get in. So they basically go in between the knuckle and your portal box. And basically what's it's here is so that way you can get a good your screw to bite in here really well without compromising and binding up your knuckle. So anyways, I'm going to do it the way I was doing it, but I do appreciate Jeremy's suggestion because I have not tried it yet. So I'm not going to try it live on camera, but I'm going to try it the way that I've done it before. So what I do here, so and if you do these things, so when you put these things in, they sit down here in these openings, and generally they'll just fall out. Say like that one. So like you're tipping them around, and they're in this, and of course they're in the inside, so you have to basically line up your knuckle with it, and you knock them down, and they're falling out, and all this other stuff. So anyways, pro tip: put a little bit of Udder Butter in here just to get them as a place to basically stick to and just hold them in place. So that way, when you put in your knuckle, they're in place. So you're not messing around with them, falling out. And that way you can get your screws in, you can get this thing lined up the way it's supposed to be, because half the time one will fall out, then you got to get the other one put back in, and it's just a nightmare. Probably one of the more frustrating parts about building crawler axles that I've ever had. And this just makes it so you're one less frustration. But yeah, I'm going to try out that graphite coating just to see the difference. But yeah, appreciate the suggestion, Jeremy.
Yeah, definitely a good tip. And your tip was equally as good too, because then that way you're not dropping parts and muddling around with it. But man,
yeah,
you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to give the hashtag.
We're almost out of time today.
I know, it's flying by again. Man, honestly, I hope you guys enjoy us wrenching while you guys like can chime in and do all that stuff. But here is the hashtag upgrade, because we are actually going to be giving away some of these awesome new kits. So if you hashtag, we got the 12x16 carbon series magnetic combo with upgrade kit for number 1. And number 2, we got the 5x5 or 5.5x8 carbon series magnetics combo with the upgrade kit. So 2 awesome prizes going out tonight. So make sure that if you're on the YouTube or Instagram, that you jump on over. Let me just check what we got here. Holy cow. 14 people over there. Please, if you're on Instagram, please jump over to either YouTube or Facebook. The only time the comment will work is on those 2 platforms right now. But there is a few upgrades that are coming to the streaming service that we hope to bring you. So the comments will stream to us and we can be more inclusive to the Instagram users, because we do appreciate you guys tuning in and watching from whatever type of multimedia you are currently running.
Yeah, and so for the 5x5, what was it? The 5x5x8. So that is this guy right here. We intentionally didn't show it off today because we're not quite ready to put it on the website yet. But you can be one of the first ones to get the upgrade kit along with the magnetics and the mat.
Yes.
So you'll be one of the cool kids at the racetrack because no one else is going to have it.
Yeah, so there was one more product I wanted to show off. I'm going to try and bring this over here. So obviously, tire washing and putting them away for the season is an important part of racing. And especially with the price of tires these days, you want to make sure that you protect your investment. So the best thing that we have for that is obviously the tire wash. And what I do is I have a couple different ways of doing it. And one of them is with the tire brush, obviously. The other way is with these right here. Now, what I would like to do is I'll just throw a little bit in here just to show you kind of like how it works. You just throw a little bit in here. And you can dilute it with a little bit of water, which I'm going to do because it works so well that you don't need it to be 100% of the tire wash. And then once you have it in, I'll just give it a little shake here. And then hopefully you guys can see here, this tire is pretty dirty. I'm getting ready to put it away for the season. So you just give it a little squeeze here. And you can see it squirt right onto the tire, and then you just have to rub it in. And this brush has done wonders for me over the seasons, and no complaints whatsoever with this style brush. Well, Heath had to one-up us and offer to the Cow RC enthusiasts a whole bunch of new products, one being the power wash. So now what I do is I'll just take the power wash. I'll just give it a quick little go around like that. And with the new tire brush, this actually digs in. The bristles are a lot harder and more rigid. And the cleanliness that you get out of these, especially when you have, I'm going to say a meatier tire, you'll get a lot better cleaning with this method for sure. And you can see the dirt just melts off with the tire wash, and I love it. So now we'll do a little before and after comparison. So hopefully you guys can see that.
Oh yeah, looks good.
It's like a brand new tire.
So there's a question from Michael about when you wash them, are you putting your tires directly in a sealed bag?
Okay, man. Great question. Okay, so what I do is, because of the tire wash, I'll take just a Ziploc baggie, a normal Ziploc, and what I'll do is I'll actually write on here So I don't know if you can see my chicken scratch, but I'll actually write what the compound is and what the tire actually is. And then all I do is I just put it in. And I don't put it in wet, but you can put it in, oh man, I know the women will love this, moist. And it puts all the chemicals back into the tire. And then what I do is I put all 4 of them in and I lay them flat. That way it doesn't damage the foams in storage. So over on my shelf, I actually have all my tires already stored and packaged for next season because we don't have the opportunity to race 8-scale off-road in the winter months. So we actually have to store our tires. But definitely a great question. And whatever way tickles your fancy is an awesome thing. Hopefully for Christmas, I get the orange automatic tire wash, and that mixed in with the CowRC tire wash sauce and cleaning, it is a one-hit wonder. And if I do get it, I can't wait. I'll do a video for all my racing fanatics because that is the ultimate way to wash any of your 8-scale buggy and truggy tires. So I can't wait to show that off. It is such a great thing. But hopefully we have everybody all hashtagged up.
I think so. They've stopped coming in, so I think
let's see where
we're ready to roll. So we're going to give away the 12 by 6. Well, let's do the smaller one first. So
yeah, let's do the smaller one first.
Yeah, the smaller one is cool because nobody else is going to have it. So you are going to love it. Again, these little inserts fit awesome inside the pockets. So you'll love it. But yeah, let's give away the 5x5 or 5.5 by 8 first.
All right. Okay, good luck everybody. Here we go. So that's for this guy right here, right?
Yes.
Vinny. Hey, congratulations, Vinny. So just message either me or Tyler, and we'll get your information and definitely get that shipped out to you. But congratulations. Yeah. You are going to be one of the first to have that size inserts for a Carbon series. So good.
Congrats.
Yeah, man.
All right. So the next one is for the 12 by 16, which is the one I've got in front of me here with the upgrade kit and magnetics. Kurt,
congratulations, man.
Yeah.
All right, same deal with you, Kurt. If you can, just message either me or Tyler, and we will get you out your winnings. But holy cow. Hopefully, we were able to answer some of your questions, and I love the participation again tonight.
Yeah.
I know we covered a lot. We covered a lot of products. If you have any questions whatsoever about what we covered, please reach out. I will do my best to help you out. And or if you check out the CowRC fan page, we've been posting a lot of content on there lately. So if you have any questions whatsoever, hit us up.
Yeah, and the one thing I wanted to go over, I wanted to go over, we don't have time, but I will mention it, is make sure if you're putting together, crawler stuff. So everything's a lot of stuff's aluminum and brass, right? If you're doing any fasteners that are metal to metal contact, use some Loctite, right? So you want to make sure that your screws are staying, in place. And I recommend the blue one. That's kind of my favorite. Purple is also a great one. And the reason I like those is because it's easy enough to loosen up, by hand when you're ready to take it apart again for some maintenance. So just keep that in mind for you guys in the crawler community.
Yeah, very important tip because somebody doesn't like to tighten stuff once in a while here, I heard.
It happens. Sometimes you lose a wheel nut. Sometimes you lose it a couple times.
Man, what an awesome show. I can't believe it flew by. Thank you guys for joining us and girls, and we will see you in 2 short weeks.
Yeah, tune in the 2 short weeks because we have excellent information and news to share with you about where we're going with our next charity build. So you'll be excited.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. And we appreciate you guys, and we will see you in 2 short weeks. Bye for now.
See ya.